What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Hof Bergmann version 1.4. Hope you all have been enjoying your own gameplay here on the map. I am looking to continue my enjoyment tonight as we do a little gameplay and a little bit of testing. As the thumbnail alludes and the title, I gotta test the asparagus out over at the vegetable area in the extreme northwest. When I was putting together my Hof Bergmann Explained video on that area, I wasn't able to get asparagus to spawn. And I don't know if that's a problem or if I'm just not doing it right. So we're gonna mess with it a little bit tonight. We also have some straw to collect, some bales to collect, and well, we'll see what other kind of things we get into. What's up, Chad? You know what? While you're here, this video is brought to you by Darren Cassell and Chad Bergman. Thank you for being farm barons. And as I mentioned in my video today, if you're curious at all what all this farm baron thing is about, well, check the join button down below the video. We have multiple levels of channel membership, and it's just a quick and easy way to, you know, kind of show your support, I guess, for the channel by having a small kind of monthly subscription. And for that, you get a few little perks, like a call out during a recorded video or live stream, being at the end of the credits, occasionally having early access to pre-recorded videos like the Hof Bergmann Explained videos, amongst other things. I don't know if I was watching an 85-inch TV or not when we were at the National Farm and Machinery Show and I rented that house or not, but it was a huge screen as well, and I fully understand. And hopefully the stream looks great on that size of screen, because we do stream at 1440p, pretty high bitrate. I should be able to crank her up to 4K. Simper, I was just watching a little bit of that as he was fielding questions while I was eating dinner. Saw the Prime Minister invited everybody up for maple syrup pancakes. I actually set one of the moon, I guess the sun, no, the Earth set. From the NASA website. I set that as my wallpaper on my main home office machine. Works well with my dark background, or my dark Windows theme, right? With everything else going on, it does give you a little bit of happiness and good news. I don't know if it's too early in the stream to start talking about some interesting philosophical things, but I'm going to bring it up a little bit later in the stream because I'm listening to a book, and the book brought up an interesting point, and I think I think we are, I think we're living that point, and I think it's only going to get worse with people's seemingly dependence on AI. But more on that maybe at the top of the next hour. First hour, we're just going to chill and hang out. Because, you know, I like to change it up and talk about all kinds of things. Not just farm sim related stuff. But man, that map today, it's a big download. But it is a really, really attractive map. If you're into kind of Eastern European, Polish style maps, I think it's probably going to scratch a lot of itches. And interesting enough, the grocery store, being uneducated myself, didn't know, but that's like a pretty major brand, and now that it's been officially licensed, we can probably see more of that in various ways. Come via mods and mod maps, maybe prefabs. John, I have zero time to do anything with anything other than farm sim. Barely have enough time to try to squeak out a couple races in Project Motor Racing these days. But the way maps keep dropping, there is like zero casual gameplay for me. I've said before, I kind of get jealous of content creators that just make pre-recorded content and gameplay videos, because they're kind of the masters of their own time schedule. They do whatever they want, when they want. Me, on the other hand, my entire life is basically governed on what happens on any one given day on the Mod Hub. If a map drops, all plans are off. Map doesn't drop, then I actually have some free will and can choose what I want to do. Now, with that said, I am traveling Friday through Sunday. So hopefully there's no map drop on Friday. If there is, it might be Sunday night before I get it put together. And then in about 6 weeks from now, I'm gonna be traveling to Charlotte to the Sim Racing Expo in Charlotte, North Carolina. Over Labor Day week, no, not Labor Day, Memorial Day weekend. So if any of you happen to be attending that, hopefully we can hook up, hang out for a little bit. But yeah. What's up, Urbane Furball? John, what do you think of Farmers Dynasty 2? I mean, the other game that we might get back into, or well, we'll definitely get back into at some point, is going to be ATS. Once they drop the the ability to drive around in cars and the trucks. I don't think that's happened yet. All right, I think we got one more load. All right, we got a nice animated blur there. And don't forget we have an animated Bale plane here. As we see it going up. I mean, that's kind of what Farmers Dynasty 2 or 1 was, right? Is this a bit more refined? Yeah, Chad, that grocery store was way cool, way detailed. And of course, it's its own mod, so you can add it to any game, any map you want. I mean, it's one thing that really makes, in my opinion, Farm Sim a little difficult for the uninitiated to get into, is that it's a full sandbox. It's just a sandbox game, and those are always hard for a uninitiated person to get into because there's really no direction. It's just do whatever you want. Going to shows like PAX East and Sim Gaming Expo last year, and kind of supporting giants at their booth, talking to new players, describing the game. It really kind of drives home that there's a unique kind of player that gets sandbox games, and then there's the type of player that just doesn't. And I experienced kind of that with Transport Fever 2. I really am excited about Transport Fever 3 coming out sometime this year. And I do plan to try to get early access to that and do some coverage on the second channel with Transport Fever 3. But I really tried hard to get into Transport Fever 2 after the tutorial. And I really struggled. It was like, it was indecision paralysis. Like, too many options. Like, which map do I start? Like, which biome, which whatever, which decade do I start in? Okay, if I finally figure out where I want to start, then where on the map do I want to start? What's the best place to start? And it's just like if you get a blank canvas and they say draw a picture. For me, it's like, of what? Well, whatever you want. I don't know. What? Which I guess it's interesting that I was able to get into Farm Sim, but maybe that was, some of my agricultural background as a kid. Gave me a little bit of point of reference on that. Sandbox games are really difficult to get into. That's where something like Farmers Dynasty 2 can be a little bit easier to get into because there's a story. And the story kind of drives you to go from point A to point B and do steps 1, 2, and 3. Maybe not necessarily in that order, but still perform those steps. Alright, we got the straw now. So it'd always be interesting if in any way you could kind of develop a story mode for Farm Sim. That was optional. Maybe walk you through like your first year. And maybe that's kind of what the NPCs were intended for, but the execution was so disconcerting that it didn't work, right? But if like Walter would interact with you at the start of every day and be like, okay son, right? I know you're learning the ropes, so today we need to do this. Like, it's September, we really need to put wheat in the ground. So hopefully you've already prepared the fields. If you haven't, we need to get on that right away. And kind of walk someone through the first year. And at that point, maybe Walter's like, all right, kid, I think you got it figured out. Let's, you know, go on your own. But instead, we get a really basic tutorial. You cultivate, you seed, you harvest, you transport grain. All right, go to it. And now with the game having 20 plus crops, a lot of them being specialty crops with special machinery, special needs, it's a lot to pick up. And that's where channels like mine really come to shine, when we do have hopefully detailed tutorials where someone can be like, well, what's sugarcane all about? Well, I can watch a video all about sugarcane and decide if it's something I want to mess with or not. It's like with Transport Fever 2, I really enjoyed the tutorial, like the missions. Here's your map, you need to do this. Okay, now let me go figure that out, or let me go do that. Let me achieve that goal and do the next thing. Let me achieve that goal. Okay, success, right? Congratulations. You saved the city or the town or whatever. You feel accomplished, you move on to the next task. But then you get out of that, and you're tossed into sandbox mode, and you're like, what do I do? Why can't you use grass to make silage at the BGA point? You just dump grass in the bin, in the bunker, and it converts it into chaff. And then you compact it into silage, so I'm a little confused with that. What's up, Nesco? We'll just say Nesco. We'll just park this tractor in here and forget about it. Alright, who has a flatbed trailer? You could become a flatbed trailer. I'm gonna shop and take the sides off. We want this. And auto load. Yes, I did indeed download Universal Auto Load. Yeah. Uh-huh. Sure. What doesn't work about it? It's not a traditional sell point. You don't get money when you deliver product. You get money over time. So, sleep. Wake up in the morning. You'll see you have profit. All right, look. Where's the one that lets you just run? Did you maybe fill it up? I mean, it doesn't take unlimited product. But yeah, this map will run into mod conflicts, especially with any sort of script mod as a great possibility. That's why I strongly advocate a mod folder for every save game and not having just tons of mods in every folder. I honestly find the least mods that I use, the more enjoyable the gameplay is because it's consistent and predictable. But I don't know why I can't turn this into Bale mode. There used to be a thing where you turned enabled Bale mode and you just run through and pick them all up without these straps coming on every time. Well, alright. I won't remember next time I need to go to use it, but thanks. I get away, chicken to ducks. You know this trailer fits? It does. Just gotta get in there right. Ta-da! Alright. Sounds like a... Oh, let's see. Skybox in 22. Well, the first thing I'd say is load it up with 0 mods on a base map and see what happens. Alright, get to work. Let's see if we have any alpaca wool. Probably not. I do want to make sure everybody's fed before I go sleep through the night. Just remember there's a script in here that will kill off your animals if they're not fed. Well, the best way to run through a mod conflict is to do what I call the process of halving. Take your mods and take half of them out. See, the process still is an issue. If it is, take half of what you have left out and repeat. And just keep repeating, taking half of whatever you have out until the problem no longer exists. Then you know it's in the half that you just took out. Then put half of that back in and see if it repeats. If it does, well, now you've narrowed it down to whatever that half is that you just put back in. At that point, you can either do individually if it's not too many mods, or again, half that, and until you can replicate it. That's a quick way to quickly narrow down issues. Well, I try to do things as smart as I can. Well, I would not load up an existing save. I would load up a brand new save and do it. first load up a brand new save with no mods to see what happens. I would take them completely out of your mod folder, because there's always the potential that a script mod malbehaves and is running even if it's not activated. Alright, everybody's got food that has animals. Yeah, script mods have the most potential to conflict, simply because of the fact that, well, they're scripts. They can do just about literally anything. All right, we're up here at the vegetable area. Up on the hillside, we have our asparagus beds. Running. We have little piles of organic waste. We have 400 some, almost 500 liters of green and white asparagus. Okay. I mean, it wouldn't delete them, just move them out of your mod folder. I mean, it doesn't have to be they exist in your mod folder or they delete. Copy them to some other folder. They can be in your farm sim folder, just in a folder not called mods. I mean, like here. So, right, Highlands mods. These are all the mods that I was using when I was playing on Highlands. Or Kinleg. Hof mods. These are all the mods I had activated when I was playing on 1.3. They're still in my farm sim folder. They're just not called mods because they're not active. And then the active mods I've got going on are here. If I do want to go back to Highlands fishing, well, I can just close farm sim. I rename this folder to something. I rename this folder back to mods. I launched farm sim. Now these are my active mods. I've been using that method since farm sim 17. Okay. What is that? Cider mill. We own our cherry plant, but it's no longer summer, is it? Nope. No, we had a chance to get cherries in August, but cherries only produce in summer, so they're done for at this point. All right, we got some alpaca wool. Let's move it out of the way. We'll come get it later. I don't think you can. There's a way to reload things in the console, but I mean, I assume you're playing on PC, right? Because if you are, you got the power of having access to the file system. Don't use that janky in-game mod hub. But the only thing good in the in-game mod hub is search. Why they can't have a decent search on the website, I don't know. Search on the website mod hub is atrocious. But it's far easier to... Do we only have goats in here? No, I got sheep. I thought I bought... Oh, wait. No. Yeah, our wool spawns over here. Dirty wool. We don't have enough to work with. We do have some milk. Let's take this. Oh, shoot. You know what? Let's buy that. Let's run it down to the thing. Well, Haley, thank you for finding the channel. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, I've heard good things from folks about the Mod Assistant app. I just can't bring myself to use it. Little milk cans. Oh, let's see. Does this work? You better believe it. Universal Autoload even works with Hof Bergmann stuff because it's the best dang autoload on the planet. If you're on PC and using any other autoload, why? All you need is this. What's up, Goober Cooper? Let's go make some goat cheese. Maybe we need to get some cows. About the only thing I use the in-game mod hub for is finding mods. Because I can go to the mod hub on any PC, download it, and move it over to my a network share mod storage place. And then when I get home or get to the gaming PC, I can put them in place. What? Why is that not open? So it's in the description. lsfarmingmods.com. And I'll put it up right here. Let's get this. Yeah, I guess the in-game mod hub is useful for mod updates because you now get the kind of the notice visually in the menu that there's an update. And of course to rate mods. Get some TMR made real quick. Go. All right, we can put more hay in and silage. Straws full. Oh man, how did that happen? Okay. Disaster. No, he just grind it up. All right, so Should we go get the auto milker? Oh, we need to go back and check on the bulls. Well, if you go into the LS Farming website, they have a mini ag pack. I demonstrated it in the cherry orchard video that's going to be coming out probably next week. Excellent kind of mini equipment. Alright, they still got milk. Alright, we're good. Yeah, it's not really bull breeding. Well, I mean, it kind of is, but not really. Bulls on this map don't necessarily breed as much as you have to buy them as newborns. They grow up. They start producing fluid. And then they get too old and stop. Alright, we'll get you to work. You're down here because, well, let's do this. And while we're here, pick up our here they are. And of course, don't forget, we do have the, oh, this place doesn't open until 9. Stuck here. Dang it. Well, this map kind of has that. I was very deliberate with my choice of hue in that part of the video. It's a bit more graphic if you were to change the camera angle. Did we not? Do we not have that? Pretty sure there's a mod I saw that lets you spray water and fertilizer. Welcome from Brazil, and I'm glad you enjoy the map. All right, get to work. Okay, let's buy. Let's get some bees running. We need. Yeah, we need a lot of bees. And we need 1, 2, 3 of those. And we need 4 of these. Yeah, we need all those. And we need a couple of these. Let's take our Scooby-Mobile. I don't think I can set this up as auto load. We'll see. What? Wow. Oh. We'll just take the top off. Can I load it higher? All right, we'll come back. I mean, don't hold me to it. I only really cursory look at mods on any given day. I'm really looking just for maps. Although there was an interesting update today to a mod I didn't even realize was out that lets you kind of modularly build out buildings. I do believe I'm completely lost. I need to be over here. I didn't know I could get close and it just load in. Nice. All right, let's go get the next load. What, I gotta go to the shop to do that? I'm just surprised it works on this custom vehicle. Oh, safety's real for me anyway. We have 1 speed and that's full throttle. Full throttle farming. Too bad that is actually a name of a legit farm. I was wanting to use that name once, but I looked it up and it's legitimately a farm. So there went that idea. Oh. That's funny. One of the beehives already loaded in the honeycomb. Somebody asked in a comment how you rotate things on controller. I was like, I don't know. Never used a controller. Just get up in there. I will collect our bees and our boxes next go. What's up, Albert? But the only thing I've done with a controller is try to help people at PAX East with a controller on the Farm Sim kiosks. Why they bring kiosks that have controllers, I don't know. Because 90% of the people that show up don't use controller. So it's like they're trying to game out on a control device which they never use. And, well, they're not accustomed to it, and it's not comfortable. So they don't get a good experience. They used to bring laptops, and they would hook up to a controller and the keyboard and mouse, and people would have a choice, you know, how do you want to play? And that was nice because if you normally play on keyboard and mouse, then you could do that. If you normally play on a controller, you could do that. But being stuck to only a controller at a show floor that really isn't a console gaming show, in my opinion, is not the smartest thing to do. I mean, they're preset save games. After 10 minutes, they reset. So there is no messing things up. In fact, the shop and other things are disabled on the save, so... Oh, did you also know bees only work in, they don't work in the winter. They're union. So we gotta get these guys running so we get a little bit of output. There's too many combinations, and it's like, I don't know how somebody goes and remembers all that junk. Alright, give me all my bees. $600,000 bees. What's up, Snowman? Okay. Each hive gets 4 boxes of bees. Just chuck them in that general direction. Oh. Okay. 200,000 bees in each. 60 honeycombs in each. And 12 hives in each. Beehives out of service in autumn. So I guess they'll just hibernate until spring. I thought I'd get a little use out of them, but okay. Alright, let's go, check our alpaca and check out our sheep. Oh, is that like the, is that like the inception of fast farming? Aren't these guys cute? get you to work. Yeah, I mean, I can't use a controller because holding it makes my hands go numb. Well, we still don't have a lot of wool. Alright, we'll just leave that run. Yeah, they still have milk. We have some grapes. Actually, let's do this. Let's do this, people. Okay, let's make this farm shop. Are you ready? All right, there we go. Farm shop built. I don't know how do contracts work nowadays? Are they entered different? I mean, have they changed? Oh. Do you not take grapes? This seems odd. You wouldn't take grapes. You know what? I mean, the farm shop might be broke. I mean, I don't mind contracts in 25. I just don't really have a lot of time to do them. Okay. We'll get one boy rabbit, one girl rabbit, and, well, these guys will go to town. Oh, I didn't use easy dev. I used the standard dev controls. I built it plenty of times using the standard method. Why is this? I don't know why it's here. Let's do this. All right, while we're doing this, we're gonna get into this little philosophical discussion that I alluded to earlier. Now that we're in our second half of our live stream, we can get a little more serious. So, I was listening to a book, because that's how I do things. I don't read, I listen. It's an interesting book, but the premise of the book series is immaterial. It's more about the topic that came up, about the de-evolution of a sentient species. And the concept that as life becomes easier for a species and things are more or less handed to them, they don't have to struggle, they don't have to fight, they don't have to work hard for things, they slowly devolve, they become dumber, and ultimately at some point could regress back to being non-sentient. It's an interesting concept. And I think about various things. And I think about the ever so great movie of oh my gosh, terrible things have happened. I think about the ever great movie Idiocracy, and how it's really a documentary about the what the heck happened there? About the dumbing down of society. Why is this giant reticle in front of my screen? Anyway, this reticle is really confusing me. Now what happens? No, it's doing the same thing. All right. That with the ever-present technology, life is easier for lots of people. Like, we don't have to memorize things like our parents did, or our grandparents did, because we have things like calculators and other such things to look things up. We have the internet. We don't have to necessarily know facts and figures and other things, because we can just look it up. We don't have to know how to do something. We can just ask AI to do it for us. So, are we on a de-evolution path ourselves? I do strongly feel that each generation is dumber than the previous. And not just current generations. I think it goes back a ways. As things are easier to do, as things are kind of more commonplace, we don't have to know as much. What do y'all think? Seriously, why is that thing in my screen? Go away. What even is it? Off. Good, it's gone. Partial. Why is it back? Oh, I think I know what happened. Blame me. My mouse button was up against the stream deck, causing it to be depressed constantly. Well, I mean, if you've never really had to go through and... Oh, shoot. Oh, good. Counter's still there. If you've never had to go through and really diagnose a mod conflict issue, then you maybe really haven't ever thought about it. I mean, I see people at work like, oh, let me just go use AI and figure out how to do this. Or let me go use AI and have it write this thing. I'm like, what? By the time you figure out how to write your little prompt to get what you want, you probably could have had half of it written. Yeah, if you've never watched Idiocracy, I highly suggest go checking it out. It's listed as a comedy, but I do believe it's technically a documentary about the dumbing down of humanity. Not just America, humanity in general. Unload. All right. We'll leave you there. Oh, I gotta go up and get that flatbed. Where'd I put it? Oh, I know where I put it. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, shoot. Almost ran into that. Are you using my... I've seen advertisements for that boot.dev site. It's kind of interesting. Apparently it teaches you to code through gamification. Kind of makes a game of it. Oh shoot. We gotta go reconfigure this thing. There we go. Give me my trailer back. Well, it's interesting. I was talking to a sales guy yesterday for work, and he was telling me that they're required to use AI a certain amount of during the day, and if they don't use it enough, like they actually get brought in to have a discussion. Like, why aren't you using the AI tools that we are providing you? And he's like, I don't need to use those tools because I know our products. I don't need to use AI constantly to figure out what's the best product for the customer's need. But it's like these companies have invested so heavily in it, now they are mandating their employees have to use it just to justify the giant expense in making it. Or maybe those sales staff could actually become educated in the products they're selling and not have to use some tool. But no, we can't do that because employee turnover is too much these days. No one's going to stick around for more than a couple months in any one place. Everyone's always, I'm sorry, I'm new here. No, it's not an excuse. It means your manager didn't properly train you. Probably because they don't know how to use it either. Because they weren't properly trained. But everyone's new here. Well, I'd rather have a product recommended by someone that actually knows what's going on than someone using a tool. Because the tool could have always been like, we need to push this product, so let's tweak the tool to like recommend this product more, regardless if it really is a good fit. Yeah, the classic, you really don't want what's on sale. You want this other product that costs more and maybe has one or two extra features. And you really want this one instead. Because secretly I get more commission if I sell that one than what brought you in the door. Timar. Alright, well, you need to reconfigure this as a flatbed again. I don't know. I'm a little turned off on AI recently because of the whole Rampocalypse. Okay, take the sides off again. Exactly. Alright, we're going to come down here and pick up our auto milker and our milk tank. We have a forklift, but we could just... Oh, we don't have it turned on. Where is it? I was like, I know I used it recently. It only hangs off the back a little bit. And it's only a little wide. It's fine. It's fine. Throw a flag on it. We're good. Yeah, it's stupid. I'm trying to buy a bunch of stuff for work and, well, let's just say I had a budget of $125,000 to buy it. It should have cost me only like 90 grand, 80 grand maybe. But it's looking like it's going to cost me more like 150. So we might be at a point where we're like, well, we just can't replace those things. I control several hundred thousand. Where'd it go? What the heck happened to it? Oh, there. Fine. I'm like, what? It got lost. Yeah, I mean, it is important because, I mean, there's a very real issue of falling behind. It's not like you can't not replace something. But if you don't have the money for it, you just don't have the money for it. Alpaca wool. Where does it go? Spinnery of the tailor. Okay. Tailor's on the way up to this. I mean, it's not scary. It's just, yeah. The responsibility there to use it properly, right? Oh, I got distracted. There we go. $9,000 in alpaca wool. That's some expensive sweater. Well, Urbane Fairball, it's like people are like, hey, you don't fight fair. No, because I want to win. No one that fights fair ever wants to win. Yep, no asparagus. Let's do something. Okay. Oh, wait. White asparagus. Yeah. Green. What is that? $250. $250. So I should have two little pallet of asparagus here. But I don't. And you see, you can't change this to anything other than story. We don't need to buy any totes or anything because it's not an incoming thing. Like I said, when I did my video about this area, I couldn't get asparagus to spawn. And I just wanted to test it here. Nope, not there. Smoked fish. Bread crate. Apple crate. That's for cherries. Cherries. Bees. Yeah, I think it broke too. What's up, Joshua? Oh man, Farmer G, I feel like I've been running on empty since I got back from PAX. Wow, I hit it so hard that my asparagus came out. Wait, before I do this. I gotta check. Yeah, what's up with this? Negative money. Like, it's gonna cost me money to sell unpacked asparagus. What the heck is going on with that? Right, I'm gonna lose money. Oh, the green asparagus is gonna, well, whatever money I lose on white asparagus, I'm gonna make back on green. So I'm gung ho now. Yeah, I think asparagus has an issue. I would say that's correct. We're declaring the farm shop officially broken. Alright, I was thinking what we need to do. stuff back to the farm. But I guess you never really overheat there. That's one good thing, I guess, right? No, we can't get it. Oh. You've been wasting my money this entire time, dude. Lime, seed, fertilizer. I do wish there were more lime options in game. Oh no! Disaster! Farm Sim Physics for the win. Something else would be nice if, like, you had the ability to search. Does this work? Lime. I want to find everything that... No. Like, if you could search based on, like, ask. Like, I want to find everything that can do lime. Well, I do wish bales had a bit more weight and mass to them. especially when they were on the forks. It would be nice if they showed some level of deformation. Well, big round bales are quite heavy, and big square bales are quite heavy also. Definitely. I mean, even a little baby bale, right, that comes out of a little Massey Ferguson baler, you're not going to be necessarily picking the bale up with a pitchfork. So you're not going to have enough leverage. Right, those bales can be, from the light end, 20 pounds, to the heavy end, like 60 to 80. Depending on what they are. And that's the little baby bales. I mean, the big round bales basically think about probably the weight of a Volkswagen Bug. What's up there, Sir Raznak? I saw you playing zombie something yesterday. Of course, every time I fill out your survey, your poll, it's always the losing choice. You would have to shove pretty darn hard. There's a lot of ground tension. Is Rise your pet zombie? Speaking of zombies, there was a game right across the way from the Giants booth of PAX. It was like Lucha Libre Wrestling meets Street Fighter. Or not so much Street Fighter, but what was that game a long time ago? Where you and like another person would walk down the street and you'd have to punch, you know, a bunch of bad guys and stuff. Fight them out and stuff. It was basically like Lucha Libre Wrestling and that. And at some point you get to a level where you're fighting zombies. Let me see if I can pull it up on Steam. Of course, Steam wants to update now. Alright, here we go. Oh, jeez. Now it wants me to log into Steam. Hold on. Ah, there it is, baby. Oh, yeah. Oh, VIP, it's okay. But I don't have favorites. I mean, I guess one could argue that this map might be a favorite, but I typically don't declare favorites because I've got this mental issue where what if something comes out tomorrow that's better? So I can't pick a favorite because there might be something tomorrow that's better than today's. That's why I never do like top 5 lists. top 5 best maps. Well, because tomorrow a map may come out that completely negates the top 5 I just did. So I couldn't endlessly be doing top 5 bests like every week. That's dumb. So the best map is the map that calls you and that brings you in. As far as mod map, what's the best first mod map for a new player? There's no such thing. Every mod map has its positives and its negatives. What you need to come up with is what draws you in. What are you looking for? Do you want a map that's like butt simple to play on? It's just square fields and flat? Do you want to play on big machinery? Do you play on small machinery? Do you like little fields, big fields? Do you have a lot of time to play? Do you not have a lot of time to play? Because if you don't have a lot of time to play, you might want to play on smaller fields and smaller farms and smaller maps. To give you a sense of accomplishment that you're actually getting something done. As opposed to, man, I've been working on this field for weeks and I never get anything done. Maybe there's a style of map you like better than others. Maybe you like European maps. Maybe you like Irish, UK style maps. Maybe you like more North American style maps. Big fields, wide open farms, open roads, easy to navigate. Once you understand what you like and want, then kind of the maps start to make sense as to which one might draw you in. And I think Genetic Jake could comment that if you're not really invested in a map, it becomes like work. And there's no real incentive to get on and do anything because you're not really invested in it in any way. So I like to say sometimes I get on a map and I don't know why, it just feels right. And there's other maps that just don't. Like I don't see myself spending more than 5 minutes on this map. And then there's other maps you jump in and you're like, this is it. This is a map I could play for a while. So never force it. I'd say watch my videos, look at the thumbnails. I always have the PDA up on thumbnails. They give you a general idea of kind of like the layout of the land. If you like a map with a lot of things going on, a lot of production, would you rather a map be more focused on agriculture? Uh, 24 chicks soon to make their way into my farm. Why are you not opening? Open! There we go. Get out of the door trigger. And for next time, we need to pick up a chick box. You know what? With this update, you don't get the bike at the start. Or the bike has auto load. It does. Well, I mean, usually it works, except if you are trying to pick something up and you're in the door trigger. All right, then it doesn't work so hot. I mean, one thing, VIP, is check the map that came out today. Check the map video I brought out for the one that came out today. It's a Polish style map. It's got nice small fields. You can merge the fields if you want. There's a lot of fields. It's a standard size map. It's multiple sell points. There's some production going on, but it's not excessive. It's from a high quality map maker, so it's got lots of detail. There's kind of an interesting American style map that came out. I did a video on yesterday. It's not on the mod hub, so we're at itch.io. It's got very square, very rectangular fields. Very easy to do field work, very easy on hired helpers. I would call it a very basic map. That's not negative, it's just saying there's not a lot going on. There's like one main farm, I think. I don't remember. It's been like a day since I made the video. It's out of my head. But there's like one main farm, a couple of different sell points. Very agricultural themed. All right, folks. I need to... Oh, good. The cats have food. See, the mutt has food. Yep, that's what we're going to call it for the night. Thank you all for hanging out and watching for the last couple hours as we just continue to hang out here and play on the new Hof Bergmann 1.4. Do keep an eye on the channel tomorrow as we've got a new Hof Bergmann explained video coming out. In fact, we've got new videos coming out every day until next Thursday related to what's new with Hof Bergmann 1.4. Keep an eye on the channel for map videos, and I am going to be out of town Friday through Sunday, so if a map does drop Friday, it's not going to come out until I get back from town on Sunday night. Until next time, happy farming.